So much of what we do in meteorology involves seasons. In addition to the four conventional ones, there's tropical season, tornado season, wildfire season, the growing season, just to name a few. But even the traditional winter, spring, summer, and fall can have different meanings. Now, the four astronomical seasons are linked to specific positions of the Earth in its orbit around the Sun. When the Sun's overhead at the Tropic of Cancer, that's the first day of summer in the Northern Hemisphere, the summer solstice, usually June 21st. 3 months later, the Sun is overhead at the equator. It's our autumnal equinox, around September 23rd. A quarter of a year later, the Sun is overhead at the Tropic of Capricorn, our winter solstice, about December 21st. And 3 months later, the Sun's overhead at the equator once again, our vernal equinox, usually March 20th. Now, we can also use astronomy to define a less well-known but arguably more practical type of seasons, the so-called solar seasons. Solar winter is the 3-month period with the least daylight, while solar summer is the 3-month stretch with the most. Solar autumn and spring fill in the rest. Now, by this definition, the solstices and equinoxes are the midpoints of the seasons. Here in the mid-latitudes, solar winter starts around November 6th and ends about February 4th, while solar summer runs from around May 6th to August 5th. This way of reckoning seasons was fairly common in medieval Europe. Consider that Shakespeare's play A Midsummer Night's Dream, probably written in the 1590s, is set on the summer solstice. Finally, let's talk meteorological seasons. The most common definition specifies winter as the 3 coldest months on average, December, January, and February, while meteorological summer for us is June, July, and August, the 3 warmest. An early German meteorology organization, the Societas Meteorologica Palatina, first defined seasons this way back in the 1780s, and this grouping by whole months certainly makes sense when computing climatological statistics. But if we want to be precise down to the day, the coldest quarter of the year doesn't exactly match monthly boundaries, though it's close. Here's true meteorological winter for a few places in the state based on data from the last 30 years. It starts in the first week of December and goes to the first week of March, except right on the lake where the coldest period is delayed by about a week. And now here's meteorological summer, again based on daily average temperature. Consistently across the state, it starts in the second week of June and lasts until early September. It's worth noting that these definitions really aren't relevant in much of the tropics and subtropics, where precipitation varies much more over the course of a year than temperature and the amount of daylight. So it's more common there to speak simply of rainy and dry seasons instead of winter, spring, summer, and fall. Paul Knight is back with our extended forecast next.